Good morning. Welcome to Jason Mackey's First 10, a short version podcast talking all things Pittsburgh sports. Today's Wednesday, September 25th. It's raining, but we're going to talk a little baseball here because you may have seen the Pirates had some news yesterday at PNC Park. I wrote a column about it, and I'm not talking about the game, which was a 7-2 loss to the Milwaukee Brewers. Results at this point kind of don't matter. We're not talking about the games themselves. Going to talk about the move with Rowdy Tellez and Michael A. Taylor to a lesser extent. But first, I want to remind you that this show is brought to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates. If you're injured in an accident, you're probably wondering what's next. For over 40 years, Edgar Snyder and Associates has helped injury victims answer that question. Whether it's gathering evidence, collecting medical records, or dealing with the insurance companies, Edgar Snyder and Associates has helped over 75,000 people handle what's next. Call 1-800-94-EDGAR or visit edgarsnyder.com for a free consultation. And remember, there's never a fee unless they get money for you. Well, one person not getting money, I didn't plan the transition that way, is Rowdy Tellez. The Pirates designated him for assignment yesterday along with Michael A. Taylor to bring up Joshua Palacios and Liover Peguero. You can see some reasoning for the moves. I do get that. It's the last week of the season. They sort of want to see Palacios, Peguero, whatever. I don't agree with it. I don't understand it. And I'm going to tell you why. And part of the move, or part of the transactions, I should say, Rowdy Tellez was 4 plate appearances from a bonus that would have paid him $200,000. He's obviously not going to get that. And so it was a fairly costly move on his front. Are the Pirates wrong to do such a thing? On its face, no. This happens in other places. You can't adhere to every single player's, contract structure or whatever. And I would argue that this is not every other place in terms of contract structure or money spent. You have to weigh things like, is it worth it to get 6 games of Peguero and Palacios for what the negative publicity could be about this happening? And I would say 1,000 times, no. The Pirates have had issues getting guys to come here because of the franchise's reputation, because of how little they've won, how much they pay players, what they do late in the season, concerns over stuff like this. And this doesn't help that. This hurts that in a very big and costly way, in my opinion. Now, if you're the Pirates, maybe you look at this move and you don't think that it's ever going to get out. You don't think that anybody will ever find out about Rowdy Tellez's contract. I don't know that that's how they looked at it. I'm just trying to attack this from a couple different angles. I hope they didn't think that. I mean, within, minutes probably of this coming out, Ethan Hullahan, who I've profiled on here and is a local MLB finances and Pirates finances expert, like Ethan digs through the minutia of this stuff like nobody I've ever seen. Tweets that he had this bonus clause in his contract, 4 more plate appearances, $200,000, whatever. So that's out there. That's going to get run. That's not the Yankees doing it. That's not the Red Sox doing it. That's not the Cubs doing it. The Pirates financially are viewed in a much different light, and they have to wear that. That's part of the job. And so you're left with the decision, is it worth doing that to Rowdy Tellez, knowing what could come from it? One of the ways you could have attacked this, obviously they didn't do it. You let Rowdy get to 425 plate appearances, that is, and then you DFA him. And you say, you come out and you leak to somebody, doesn't really matter who. You say, this is why we did that. We wanted to get these guys in the lineup. We know he was 4 plate appearances away from 425. We wanted him to get that. We appreciate all of Rowdy's contributions. There's only so many roster spots. It stinks, but this is what we tried to do. And then you come out of it sort of looking like the good guy. You've spent $200,000 to do it. I understand that. But you've probably generated positive publicity versus you saved yourselves $200,000 and basically put a target on your back for being cheap. I just don't think it's worth it. And then if you look at the players, and I tried to work through this in a tactful way in my column, I like Palacios. I like Peguero. Maybe something becomes of them. I don't know. But there's nothing I'm going to see in 5 games about these guys that's really going to change my mind. They could play the greatest 5 games of all time. I don't think I feel any differently about them being a part of this thing next season. If Liover Peguero hits 750, it's not like I'm going to say, well, there's my starting shortstop. IKF, you got to play somewhere else. We got to readjust the outfield here. You know, we might not move O'Neal Cruz to center because Joshua Palacios had a good final 5 games. I didn't and don't understand it. And they didn't even play last night. It was so important to get him up here and get him at bats that you're going to take the risk of this story becoming a thing, and then you don't play him Monday. I don't get it. And the last way of looking at this, and again, these guys aren't martyrs. It's not a, oh, poor Rowdy Tellez, oh, poor Michael A. Taylor. They're doing just fine. You know, Rowdy's going to get $3.2 million this year for playing baseball. Michael A. Taylor's going to get $4 million this year for playing baseball. And it's not saying they've had great years. They haven't. That's a big reason why the Pirates have struggled. They went out and spent money in free agency, and they have not gotten requisite return. The two of them have combined for 0 wins above replacement. On the open market, a win above replacement is worth about $8 million. So you can say that the Pirates basically spent $7.2 million for nothing. You know, if you spent 7.2, you should expect about 1 more. They didn't get that, didn't get close. So it's not about that. To me, it's about the risk you take by creating this situation. And they called a bunch of negative attention to themselves. Even somebody in my position. How would you handle this? Your job is to criticize, praise, write your opinion, write what you think, write how you feel about things. From the very moment this happened, I couldn't believe they did it. And so it's my job to write that. They might disagree. You might disagree. Maybe you think I'm making a mountain out of a molehill. I got one of those emails last night saying you're making too big a deal of this. And I don't think that I am. You have to. I'm not doing my job if I ignore it. Because this is a concern with this team. Bringing people in here. And players care about this stuff. Agents care about this stuff. I was getting texts last night from former players and agents who are up in arms about the Pirates doing this and how they handled it. I have a lot of thoughts on it. I think it's very dumb from somebody who I think they've done some really good things, honestly, since 2019. Not all good things. I'm not saying the franchise is in great shape. It's not. But I'm not trying to say that everything the Pirates do is stupid either. I'm trying to have some balance there. But no, I don't like this. Anyway, going to take a short break. Be back with a couple more quick hit thoughts on the other side here. But first, a message from the Bradenton Area Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Embrace the laid-back charm of island life while sinking your toes in the sand and discovering real, authentic Florida in the Bradenton area. Unspoiled beauty and pristine beaches, a vibrant waterfront downtown energized by local arts and culture, fresh Floridian cuisine with a flourish of rich history, and friendly locals ready to welcome you to this preserved paradise on Florida's Gulf Coast. Plan your visit today at BradentonGulfIslands.com.
Welcome back to First 10. I'm your host, Jason Mackey. We're here every day in the middle of the morning for about 10 minutes talking all things Pittsburgh sports. Once again, after the Pirates yesterday actually scooted over to the Penguins game, was able to see about the final 30 minutes. They lost 3-2 to the Buffalo Sabres in preseason action. Just some quick things that I saw from there. I thought Jack St. Ivany was very good. He and Kevin Hayes were the goal scorers. A young defenseman. Would not be surprised at all to see him paired with Ryan Graves early on. That seems like their second pairing as long as Matt Grzelcyk and what's his face, Chris Letang. Yeah, it's not like he's been around here for a while. As long as they click on the top pair. But St. Ivany was very good. Yoel Blomqvist was very good as well. In relief of Alex Nedeljkovic. And Blomqvist was not good the last time out in Buffalo. Wound up stopping all 11 shots he faced. It was a pretty good rebound there. Kevin Hayes was also a little bit impressed with him. Played 20-09, 436 on the power play, had 4 shot attempts, went 16-5 in the faceoff dot and scored that goal off a rebound. I'm going to be writing about him here in a couple days, but intrigued by what he is able to do, and I think he might be able to help them down the middle. He looked pretty good against Buffalo last night. Steelers-wise, Mike Tomlin talked yesterday, said he wouldn't name Justin Fields the starter, quote, because there's no need. I find that funny, that Tomlin sort of bristles at the idea of getting asked about it and why someone would ask about it. He's 3-0. He's starting for a 4th week. You're getting asked about it because he's not number 1 on your depth chart. It doesn't have to be anything etched in stone, as Mike Sullivan would say. If Justin Fields goes out and throws 4 picks and the Steelers lose against the Colts and Russell Wilson is healthy, you just put out a new depth chart. That's okay. it's a story and you're being asked about it because you haven't made that move. And people find it strange. Like, it's very obvious that Justin Fields is your starting quarterback. Why not list him atop the depth chart? It's become an issue that you're getting upset and annoyed over because you haven't done it. Anyway, I could go on for that. I don't have the time. Alex Highsmith will miss the next 2 to 3 games. Nick Herbig's going to get the start at outside linebacker. Really curious to see what happens there. He's been very good in limited pass rush snaps. Easy for me to say, huh? With 2 sacks last week. It's very good opportunity for Herbig. We'll up that rotation a little bit. Obviously, Highsmith is going to have a job when he gets back, but I think Nick Herbig can take on some more responsibility. Very curious there. And Mason McCormick looks to be your left guard this upcoming week in Indianapolis. He's going to get a shot there with Isaac Seumalo out. I'm assuming he's not going to get back in time. Probably the Dallas game is more logical, but they really like McCormick coming out of the draft. Started 57 consecutive games at South Dakota State. He's an aggressive guy. Got in there on Sunday. Have a chance to really grow together. Zach Frazier in the middle, McCormick. It was supposed to be Fatanu on the right side. Now it's Broderick Jones. But some young, exciting, intriguing offensive linemen taking hold for the Steelers. All right, thanks for listening to me this morning. Make sure you like and subscribe. You can get this video and a lot more from our other Post-Gazette writers and columnists. We'll be back here same time, same place. Thanks for watching First 10, everybody.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.